So my name is Monica.
Meet Monica, the heart and soul behind this incredible backyard homestead. She's passionate about sustainable living, and she's been gardening for over 25 years. Let's dive in.
And I have a small homestead that I've been developing for about 3 years. We've been on this property, and I've been gardening for over 25 years. This is a work in progress. So since we're right here by the greenhouse, we have a greenhouse right here that I want to grow in right now. It's just a catch-all. I have a few things in here, some citrus plants and some other gardening supplies. I have solar panels. I don't have them hooked up to anything right now. I typically use them to charge up my solar generators, just in case we lose power. And I also have water catchment systems around the place, and I use that to water plants in the greenhouse or when we don't have sufficient rain. This is just like a entertaining gardening area. This was built for me, and it has like 4 large planters. That's fairly new, so nothing's really growing in it right now.
What do you plan on growing?
I have some cherry trees in there. That's dead. Those 2 trees are gardenias, and I think I sprinkled some flower seeds down there. We'll see what happens in the spring. And then behind the fence there, I have different planters, and they're made out of those old what do you call those, water totes cut in half.
Oh, okay.
Right now I don't have too much growing in them. I have some carrot seeds in one of them, but you can't see. But this is a garden area. This left side I really didn't plant, and then in the spring I do have flowers that come up in the middle. I have some rutabagas. As you can see, it's a work in process. It needs to be cleaned out. Another rain barrel that I bought from Bieber, so I can have a water source in there as well to help water my plants.
How well has those been holding up for you?
Those are pretty good, but the water pressure could be a little slow on it, but it works fine for me.
Okay.
It works fine. And again, that's a work in progress. That was something easy. You just pull it out the box, set it up, pop it up, and you got it. You add a little valve or something to it to get the pressure out more. You'll be fine, but usually I'm just watering. We're gonna walk over here to the chicken. I do have a few hens. I started out in the beginning with about 11, and I got a straight run. I ended up getting 2 roosters, but we can't have roosters over here. So right now I have 7 hens. 5 of them are Buff Orpingtons, and 2 are I think black and white. I forgot the name of it, but those are the 2 white ones are my oldest ones. So they're about 2-3 years old. They're not necessarily laying anymore, at least not that much. And this small little coop is what I call my chicken hospital, just in case if I see one looking a little ill.
Okay.
I might separate them from the flock and put them over here, because this one right here, she was molting in the summertime. She would just seem down, so I put her over here by herself, but I think she was just an old lady. She didn't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
So this was our first chicken coop, and I have an automatic door on both of them. Basically, they know to go in and come out when it comes up, so that way I don't have to come out here.
Right.
And of course they're not laying because it's cold. They're a little nervous.
Okay.
And I keep water over there. But the way in the beginning I was setting up my system, like I keep the water right there. It's got the little trough, and I also had a feeder about the same size, and that way I don't have to come out here and feed them all the time. But only thing with the feeder is I have to make a covering, since this one is out in the open, because sometimes the water does seep in those supposedly water seal or airtight containers.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So we're about to build us a coop as well in a run, but we're worried about predators. So how do you predator proof?
Okay, so what we did is, and before I even got the chickens, I did a lot of research. So what we did is, I don't know if you can see right here, all around, we extended this wire, this chicken wire.
Okay.
All the way out and about 2 feet in. Right, so if anything even tried to dig in, it's gonna be
stuck.
Right.
Okay.
It's gonna be an issue.
Okay.
And around this, because this is unleveled, the same thing. We put it around there as well, but we put some of those boards down. So pretty much that's what we did for it. And as you can see, the boarding goes around.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It goes out. So only thing I gotta think of is like this opening right here, but I really haven't had a problem. I did have a hawk just sitting up here, but they can't get in. And with the hawks, any bird of prey, they need a free area to get away.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So, but yeah, come on, get back. You come on here.
Okay.
And this is my big coop. This was built tin roof. I just got this up here because it was cold, and that helps block the wind while they're in there.
Okay.
Again, automated door. And they're just starting. They're just starting to lay again this past couple of days because they wasn't laying. So I may come out here one day, one egg, one none. And this is my feeder.
Oh, okay.
So basically I do the feeder like this, but it can be a waste. You can put those little coverings over, or maybe you could probably put some maybe some wiring with open holes on the other side and kind of control, because when you first fill it up you lose a lot of food because they're just pulling it out.
Right.
But this is how I feel it that way. I have to keep coming out here every day giving them food. They have the food. This is the water. Same thing with the water.
Okay.
Right? And yeah. So it's a pretty efficient. They have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Up under. They got the covering in the front, but they don't have it in the back. So if it's raining, they could still go up under here. And this is one of the feeders I was telling you about. I was using in the beginning. I just need to turn it upside, turn the right side up. So like for those two over there, I think I'm going to use this feeder.
Okay.
And so they can have more.
For the separated.
Right.
Okay.
Because I'm just giving them a little jar every day and a half, 2 days.
Okay.
But I could put some more in here. And then you come on, I'm going to show you what it looks like in here.
All right. Oh, okay. Come on this side.
So, and this is how I get in and just clean out. And it's a simple little place. I just freshened it up a little bit.
That's nice. I see on YouTube, I've been researching a little about the perch, and they say you should have them at the same level because they'll fight for dominant. Yeah.
They do. That's why it's not that, difference of a height.
Right.
But yeah. And that's basically why I did it, because I saw that as well.
Okay.
So another thing too, if you have an opening up there like for ventilation, I ended up having to put this up there in some type of screening, because I think I don't know if it was squirrels or other birds was trying to come in and make a nest in there at the top, but it's not deep enough for them, the nesting stuff to stay.
Yeah.
So, and then I give them little calcium, just different stuff, and I give them treats. But this is pretty much it. This is enough. If it was if I had time and we had a little trees or whatever, I'm out here, I'll let them go out and stay out for a couple of hours or whatever, and just free range. But for the most part, this is what I do. So this one right here, she got an attitude. Yeah. And I'm surprised they're quiet. They'll talk to you.
Really?
They talk a lot of junk. They talk a lot of junk. That one back there, they make noises like that when they're not used to you. It's kind of like a call to let everybody else know, hey, something going on.
Right.
Somebody here. Like one time, Glover came up on me, and I had my back turned. I was cleaning. They was like screaming and hollering. I'm like, well, what? Ain't nobody around. Now I look up, it was him. I say, oh, he good. He feed y'all. Another thing too is I've had 2 sets of beehives, so I try to do honey.
Okay.
My last set died, but I just ordered 2 packages of bees, so in March I'll get some new hives and I have new bees.
Is it still a honeycomb in there or no?
No. Okay. It's something in there, but what beehives are susceptible to wax moth, and what they do, they get in there and they lay their eggs, and when the eggs hatch, the hatchlings start to eat the bee larvae, so they never grow.
Right.
Because
it kill them off too fast.
Right, kill them off. So that's what it is. And it was my fault. I didn't take care of the way that I should.
So what would you do differently now?
Check them more.
Okay. So how often were you checking them?
I don't know, once a month, maybe not even that. Because you can come, something as easy as you can see them out here one day just going around, buzzing around, and the next day they gone. They could either have swarmed or they could have like slowly died off. But you can see that. So I got 2 more packages coming, so hopefully I can get some honey.
Okay.
My first hive, I had honey, but I didn't harvest it.
Okay.
And then again, like I said, we've been in this property for 3 years. So when I first came, I planted 2 pear trees. That's 1 pear tree right there, and the other is over there. But we haven't had any fruit yet. So maybe this year we'll get some fruit. And over here in the fence, I guess it's my mini orchard. I have different fruit trees. I have nectarine trees, elderberry.
Oh, okay.
I bought a plum tree. I got a lot of blueberry plants, 1 persimmon, and that tall one that's in the fence, that's a mulberry, Pakistani mulberry. So basically, my goal is, and I hate to sound, this way, but I really don't want to buy any plants or trees if it can't provide food for me. Don't get me wrong, I like flowers and stuff like that, but I want it to be food or medicinal,
Nothing wrong with that.
And I've just been working and researching what will work good in the area. So even when I get 1 small fruit like that Pakistani mulberry, I only had that 1 year, I think, or 2 years. And last year I picked maybe 2 quarts off of it, but they were small fruit. With the Pakistani mulberry, they're supposed to get 3-4 inches long, so they would get like this, right? So I was excited about that. I just took them off, rinsed them, and froze them, and then when I had my breakfast, like oatmeal, I'll put them in my oatmeal.
Are they sweet?
Yeah, very.
Okay.
Very. Very. Hopefully I can get a couple of more hens. I don't think I buy chicks anymore. I want to get pullets because you don't have to worry about the baby chicks and making sure they stay warm. You get the ones that's almost ready to lay. But pretty much that's it. I have a lot of land that I can work with. But again, I'm planning exactly what I want,
Yeah.
Like I want some nut trees, but I don't want a pecan tree. I think I'm gonna get a couple of almond trees, something like that. My aim is to be self-sufficient. I've been, like I was saying over there, I've been making soap for years. So we haven't bought soap in, I don't know, 15, 20 years.
Wow.
Right? Learn how to make bread. And keep in mind, I'm a city girl. I'm from South Florida,
Okay.
Broward County. So
Yeah.
I didn't grow up doing this. It was just something that I desired to learn, and I just read books and I watched YouTube videos and I learned how to do stuff. Even with the eggs, I was surprised to start getting eggs again because as it started to get cold, I was still getting eggs. But I'm like, what am I going to do with all these eggs? And I had been researching about how to preserve. So I put them in they call it water glassing. So I put them in a jar with water and lime to clean eggs. And that preserves them. And I actually used about 3 or 4 of them 2 weeks ago.
How long have they been preserved?
They've been there since about, I want to say August.
Wow.
August, September, but they say it could last years.
Never heard of that. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was still just as good as fresh.
You don't wash it now. Like these eggs now, I won't wash them. I just set them on the counter. And some of them are dirty, but so I wouldn't put them in the jar with that. So the dirty one I will wash off, and I got a smaller 6 container. I'll put that in the refrigerator. But like if you got halfway decent, clean eggs, you don't have to wash those eggs. You can leave them on the counter till you're ready to use them. And that's
what does washing do? Does it affect it any?
What washing does, this is why we have to keep our eggs in the refrigerator. Because when the hens lay an egg, it naturally has a coating on it that protects it from disease and bacteria. But when you wash that egg, it opens it up. So it's no longer keeping it fresh. So you can just keep your eggs on the counter.
Okay. Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, you can keep them on the counter. until you, like, if you're getting a lot and you want to start putting some in the refrigerator, or you want to give some to somebody. Even now, if I give some to somebody, I say, hey, these eggs not washed, right? To let them know. So you can keep them on your counter, but if you plan on using them or you want to put them in your refrigerator, I will wash them off, really good. I wouldn't use any soap or anything like that. Maybe like some lukewarm water, and wash them real good with a paper towel or a rag, and then put them in a carton and put them in your refrigerator.
Okay, so let me get this clear. You don't wash them because it strips like the coating, and once the coating is stripped, then the shelf life on it decreases. Okay.
Correct. It can go bad. Then you have to keep it. If you ever just search YouTube and you watch any videos where somebody is in another country, let's say a European country or somewhere like that, their eggs are on the shelf just like you go get bread or a box of something. They don't refrigerate their stuff because they don't wash their eggs.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And these are the little things that you would never know unless you do the research, or you've seen it.
Yes. Yes.
And again, even though like my grandparents, they were all, let's say country or, stuff like that, they really, by the time we came along, they didn't practice this stuff anymore because, of course, you can go to, grocery store.
Convenience.
Yeah. So, yeah. And, I love it. So I'm just exploring different things and just finding ways that I can be more sustainable for my household and work with you guys, like-minded people, share ideas. Just like you didn't know about the eggs, now you know. You can do more research on your own, and once you said you wanted chickens, you get your chickens, now you know. Hey, we can do this, just finding different ways to preserve them. I also have that they call freeze dryer, so that's another episode I'm gonna see about freeze drying the eggs, so you can have the powder eggs and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, that'll be a great video. Yeah.
So I've used it a couple of times, but I haven't full on used it because I only had it like a few months. So yeah. But this is pretty much it. I do have some plans for some more things I want to plant in the spring. I want to get more. Like I said, fruit trees, like more raspberry trees, blackberries, stuff like that. I think I just made my first ever jelly. I had so many peppers. I made some pepper jelly. That stuff was a hit with my family.
Now they're going to be asking for it.
They want another jar. I mean, it really is a beautiful thing, and I'm so amazed that every time I try something, how easy it is, and that we have been... for lack of a better word, bamboozled into believing that we needed to go to the store and get what we need.
It's like it's handicapping us.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. I got a relative right now. She came over a couple of months ago to pick up something from my uncle's wife, actually. And I said, hey, you want these eggs? She's like, And she had a couple of her friends. Her friend in the back seat was like, I'll take them. If it is not at the store, she won't buy it.
Wow.
I make fresh bread, she won't eat it. Because you just have some people who, if they don't get it from a grocery store, they don't want it. They don't believe it. They don't trust in it.
It's programming.
It is programming, but the other programming is that more recently there are more recalls than ever before on food.
Wow.
So when you know better, you do better.
Correct.
That's just how I feel.
That's the truth.
So hopefully if you guys come back when it's warm, you can see everything in its glory and do another video, because we had a party here last year and the flowers were blooming, the chickens, everything was nice, and people who grew up in the country was like, oh, this reminds me of when I was little. My grandmother, my parents had this or had that, but it's just me living. So I'm just thankful that I am able to do these things, and share it with people who want to hear. And even when I go to work or I talk to people and I tell people, I have chickens, I have this. You have chickens? Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you, Monica, for giving us all of that inspiration. If you want to keep up with her endeavors, subscribe to her YouTube channel at Garden with Miss Hun 007. No worries, the link will be in the description below.